a better future. In the process, you lose your life or you get adopted, you pass through an narrow and a traumatic experience. So government should wake up. I think the primary focus of the government is election. Apart from the issue of election, which will come and go, let the government major the more in the area of security of life and property, which is the primary duty of any government that is responsible for that matter. So that incident is quite sad. Let security operative do their job. Not just reactionary approach. Let's put measures in place to forestall the reoccurrence of that evil act.
All right, it's something you've spoken about a number of times, the decline in the rate of banditry that has been experienced over time. In the last couple of months, we've seen, that drop in the numbers. Is it that people are focused on the elections at this time? And why is it that, all of a sudden we're seeing these incidences of, attacks here and there across the country?
Yes, not as if these attacks were not there. That is why we employ the government to continue to address the issue of insecurity. All ends must be on them, because if you look at history, at every election year, especially national election, when it is very close, you discover that attack will be happening here and there. Fight in insecurity goes up. Even in other social vices, killing, some murder, some politically motivated attacks here and there. So that is the way it has always been from time to time. But the situation is worsening due to the fact that we already have a battered situation even before now. So that is the major problem we are looking at. In recent times, space of attacks, even attacks on schools, are reduced drastically. But we are witnessing a kind of fight. Maybe because of the volatile situation, leading to the election, and things here and there. Politicians making inflammatory statements, also want to score cheap political points. The areas are still in the nation time. Those in the opposition, for example, may not be able to politicize it. So the government will do more by creating an enabling environment, especially for education purposes, by ensuring that areas are safe for people to be able to vote.
All right, Austin, let's move on to some other story. Kiamo sues Atiku over corruptions allegations. Kiamo sues Atiku over corruption allegations is another one there from the Premium Times. Let's bring you some details now. The spokesperson of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Kiamo, has sued the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, over a new corruption allegation against him. Austin, did you catch that one?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I got it. Festus Kayamo, the candidate of the spokesperson for the APC Presidential Campaign Council, I just filed a suit against the candidate of the PDP on the issue that borders on allegation of misappropriation and money laundering. Well, we saw this coming. Kayamo actually threatened. Let's see how it goes. The case is now before a court. There were some revelation about a pool of slush fund that was established during the Atiku vice presidency on how to fund the party. Pseudo companies were incorporated just to siphon government funds.
Right.
That revelation came just recently of a particular individual, and some names also came up that were prominent at that time. So first of just can vow that he will pursue the case to a logical conclusion. He has petitioned the ICPC, the ESCC, and other major anti-graft operative. So let's see how it goes. Whether this will affect the chances of Atiku Abubakar, I do not really know. But like Amos said, he said he will pursue it.
Right.
So he has started pursuing it. There are a lot of accusation and allegation here and there. This is what you see when election is very close. That particular revelation, according to the reports, was done by a former aide of the former vice president. So you begin to wonder, why is it that now that election is very close, that such a revelation is coming? Or why is it that it is now that the aide has become a former aide that all of this will now be coming out? Perhaps the center can no longer hold in that particular camp. But like I said, apart from the issue of politics or for the purpose of electionary campaign, anti-graft agencies ought to do their thorough job. In my own view, the type of Nigeria that I desire is a Nigeria that before you stand in for any electoral position or you stand appointed for any political position for that matter, you should be given a clean bill of health by anti-graft agencies in the country. That is my own definition of an ideal political space. But the reverse is the case in Nigeria. We have seen people who are standing trial being voted as governor of states. We have seen multiple people that are standing trial that are voted as honorable members, quote and unquote, distinguished senators, quote and unquote. And that is why you find out that things are not really working. And the fight against corruption is Herculean. Because those who are supposed to fight against corruption, if you vote them into power from time to time, how do they now fight corruption when they are beneficiary of the corrupt system? So for me, let's, I said earlier, for the frontline presidential candidate or other candidate in this election, it's ordinarily expected that more revelation that you can't get will now continue to come out for the purpose of election. So let's see how it goes.
It does look like there's some politicking going on there with all of those pointing of fingers to this one, that one. Before now, we didn't get a sniff of any of this, but now that elections are close, we're having all of this, accusations left, right, center. Anyway, let's have you speak on this one. Amidst scarcity, Nigerian government denies increasing petroleum palm price. There are reports that claim that Nigerian government had quietly increased the pump price of petrol to 185 naira per litre. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources disclosed this in a statement issued by the senior advisor to medium communications, Horatius Egua, basically saying that the federal government did not approve any increase in the pump prices of petrol across the country.
There's so much speculation, I think 2 days ago / yesterday, that the federal government may have increased the pump price to 185 naira per litre. And you begin to wonder, if they increase the price, it means that marketers will now sell more. Right. The current situation has put Nigerians at the receiving end. Of course, we talk about subsidy on one hand, we talk about hike on the other hand. The federal government has not really done either of these two. Either they complete deregulation of the downstream sector, which is on one hand, and a hike in the pump price. If this speculation could not be coming at this time, what has the federal government now been doing? Because if I may be correct, we have been buying for 180 or so for over 4-5 months now, and the official pump price in the country remain 165 naira according to the government. So how come it takes the government this number of months to want to talk about price? Now they are speculating and they are saying, oh, we didn't increase, we didn't approve. So what is now occasion for the perennial queue and scarcity that we have around town? Do you know the worrisome aspect of this whole situation?
Right.
You see fuel station dispensing at 270 and there is still long queue. Have you not seen that
Yeah.
around town? So if the federal government pump price is 165 naira on paper, and today we are speculating 185 naira. If at 165, some are buying close to 300, 270. Now that is 185 speculatively. How much will Nigerians be buying? See, this is one of the most deceptive governments in the history of the country. This is a problem that we have to deal with. How can you leave Nigerians to their fate on a sensitive commodity such as petroleum, such as PMS? It is unfortunate that we are in this crisis. In my view, I also believe the school of thought that says that the federal government is using this artificial scarcity of the people for the eventual subsidy removal. And the minister fine. Nobody has said that subsidy should not be removed. We talked about the fact that before you remove subsidy, ensure that one or two of our refinery are operational so that we will reduce the of full importation or total importation of petroleum products into the country. At least if we have local refining capacity,
Right.
either 50, 60 or 70%, we'll be able to cushion the effects. In my view, I also believe that the amount going, because how can the government pay subsidy months? That money could go into other productive sector of the economy. Then the roads, stabilize electricity, which is power sector in the country. Then you can increase this. A friend of mine gave up yesterday on running generator in the home. That fellow has run generator with the sum of 3,000 per day, which means for a month, secondary usage of petroleum products. Now, if you make power sector relatively stable, that will completely be eliminated. There is no way a residential structure can pay as high as 90,000 energy costs per month. It is possible in Nigeria. So the federal government has not done well in the management of the oil sector. Under this government, we are paying more in form of subsidy. We are also paying more in form of pump price. So it's a double dilemma for the country.
But Austin,
we are paying more in form of subsidy. That money does not benefit anybody.
Austin, we're keep being told that the federal government is doing well. President Buhari is listening to Nigerians. The plight of Nigerians is feeling their pulse because he hasn't officially, increased the petroleum pump price. Amidst all of this, that's what they're saying. That's what we're hearing.
I don't want to use the language that is coming to my mind because it's not here friendly.
Please.
I read that too, where the spokesperson that spoke said the federal government is sensitive or the president is sensitive to the plight of the people. How can a father be so sensitive to the plight of the children? For 4 months now, we have suffered in terms of petroleum products in the country. I think it should be the other way around, that the government or the president is sensitive to the plight of the people. He's only sensitive to the plight of the people in Burundi, in Niger Republic, because he has promised to solve their energy crisis for them. That is the truth. How can you tell me that the president is sensitive to the plight of the people where when Nigeria have gone through products, people now resort to ordering PMS in their homes. Do you know the risk? Do you know the risk inherent in that? People wake up in the morning, queue at fuel station, losing man hour, and you tell me that the president is sensitive to the plight of the people? We saw this coming and we told the NFPC at that time that you have not said anything. Independent marketer unilaterally by fiat jack up the price from 165 naira first of all to 180. Now people are now selling for 40, 270, 260. And we have a government that claim to be paying subsidy that still regulate the system, and somebody is telling me somewhere that the president is sensitive to the plight of the people. Come on, that's the issue. The increasing cost of transportation. We talk about inflation. Go and look at food inflation. High cost of transportation is one of the fundamental and recurring factor in food inflation in Nigeria, because the cost of mobility, transportation from one end to the other has increased substantially period under review. President is not sensitive to the thought of the people at all. Come up with official statement. Oh, even if the president should say that we are not going to increase to 185 because I love the people so much, how many fuel stations sells for 155 naira? Or the federal government through the NFPC is claiming ignorance that they don't know that people are not dispensing. Even those that are selling for 180, we are clapping for them. Those that are selling for 180, 185, right, 189 naira, 50 kobo, we are clapping for them. We see them as the friend of the people, not even the government in this case. So somebody is now telling us that the president doesn't want to approve the increment in pump price because the president loves the people so much. Where is the president in all of this suffering that people have been made to suffer? The government said, oh, they are not the one. So we are at the whims and caprices of independent marketers, petroleum marketers, who can just increase by fiat. And mind you, some of the marketers are also lamenting. IPMA spoke in the papers this morning. Because if you have a landing cost that is well over 200 naira per liter, how do you want them to sell? At what price? They are marketers, they are businessmen. They are in the business for return on investment.
Right.
So they have to recoup their money. Because what is a landing cost is the totality of the amount that deliver the product to your doorstep. One, the amount that brings the product into the country. Second, the amount that marketers get from private depot owner, the one you call S depot price, before you now add logistics, which is transportation to it, to take it to where you are going to. If you buy from a private depot in Lagos for 210 naira, and you are taking the product to the south or to the northern part of the country, don't you know what the landing cost could look like before you now add your own profit margin? I think the government is deceiving the people. It's quite unfortunate that we are having it this bad.
Okay.
In the time past, in election year, government will try to make life a little easy for the people. And people will say, oh, this is because of election. Okay. But this APC government, I don't know their fundamentals at all. Election is very close. Their party is standing for that election, and they are making life more bearable for the people. I don't know what they depend on. Honestly, I've never seen this before.
All right, Austin, let's look at another one. The All Progressives Congress has claimed Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is not involved in the campaign of the party's presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, because President Buhari asked him to concentrate on governance. Do you actually buy this statement, and why do you really think that he's not participating in the APC campaigns at this time?
I don't buy that. That is fallacious. The reasons are far-fetched and not far-fetched. They are obvious reasons. The vice president lost in the primary. The president did not want Asiwaju. The president wanted the vice president, but he didn't know how to push that through. And Asiwaju being a tactician, a veteran in Nigerian politics,
Usurped him.
snatched the ticket by whatever means. That is also debatable. Now the vice president withdrew technically after that incident. The president even withdrew. The president never gave Asiwaju support even till now. He has agreed to campaign for him in selected states. Even till now, he's not doing that as expected. When the president is supposed to talk good about what Asiwaju has done for him and politically in the country, you find the president saying, "I have no father. I was orphaned. Nobody to take care of me." We are not talking about you because you are not going to be on the ballot. We are talking about the candidate of your party. So it will be very difficult under this scenario for Osinbajo to stand tall and start campaigning for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Unfortunately, reconciliation didn't also take place. Having emerged as the candidate of the party, of course, Asiwaju went to these people, he visited them, but the president, being the type of politician he is, he never ensured that he galvanized support and rallied support for the candidate of his party. Hence, the vice president is not anywhere to be found close to the campaign trail. So the idea or the information that the president told the vice president to concentrate on governance is the vice president, the president, to concentrate on governance and not campaign for the candidate of his party. It's a lie from the pit of hell. So that is just the truth of the matter. Not until recently, the president himself was coerced, was convinced, and was pressurized to campaign for the candidate of his party. And Asiwaju is not even at peace with that because he's not sure of a total support of Mr. President. Because action of Mr. President suggests largely that he does not really want Asiwaju as the candidate of the party.
Right.
That is why in a memoir of the president can say, "Oh, somebody donated a bulletproof jeep to me. If not for that person in 2014, I would have been a dead man by now." And that other man that the president is talking good about is also on the ballot for next month's election. Meanwhile, the president has the candidate of his own party. So that's the truth of the matter.
Right.
The president has never been a party man, even while he was on the ballot in the two previous elections. It has always been about himself. Vote for me on the day of the presidential election. When it comes to governorship, vote for the type of person that you want.
Right.
That is why a candidate of another party can visit the president even before the election, wherein the party of the president as a candidate, and they were doing 4+4 sign. So that is what you find. So Osinbajo not campaigning for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We all know the reason. The camp of Osinbajo and the camp of Asiwaju, they are not really together. That's the truth.
Right.
At some point, Asiwaju did say that, I have forgiven Osinbajo for sinning against me by contesting the primary election against me. With all of this, there can be coercion in that particular camp. I am sure that is one of the major reasons that the vice president has really not been able to participate, not on the issue of governance, not at all.
Okay.
The vice president campaigning openly for Asiwaju does not still stop him from performing his role in terms of governance as the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the truth.
Okay,
the center can no longer hold. That is more of dichotomy, it's more of division than governance.
All right, I have an Oyo story here I'll be taking you up on when we come back from this break, and it reads, Ajimobi government called Oyo pensioners the dead. Makinde knocks APC. We'll take some messages and we'll be back.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9.
Are you looking for a quality hybrid of solar and wind? Solar panel, inverters, street lights, wind turbine, batteries. Well, look no further. Greater Light Power Limited is here to serve you with uninterrupted power generation, which makes them different from others. Greater Light Power Limited offers American trained engineers for your installations. Contact Greater Light Power Limited at number 2 Ojo Badon Avenue, Old Bodija, Ibadan. For more information, call 0805 852 1994 0817 759 5000. Website www.greaterlightpowerlimited.com. Greater Light Power Limited, bringing you a brighter life.
láti ìlọ mẹ́ka lálọ́dẹ you fit fly ní kẹjá lọ.
asalaamu alaikum gbogbo mùsùlùmí ilẹ̀kùn hajj 2023 ti ṣí sílẹ̀ fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ bá wa ṣèrìn àjò lọ́dún yìí. iléeṣẹ́ alálùbáríkà you fit fly ní pé gbogbo wa o. hajj ìtọ́dún ní yàtọ̀ kọjá àtàtẹ̀yìnwá. ṣé ti wá mọ̀ pé àtètè sùn ní àtètè jí. ọ̀pọ̀ ti ń fọ́ kọ́lẹ̀ níléeṣẹ́ you fit fly. ẹ̀yin náà tètè máa bọ̀ wá fọ́ kọ́lẹ̀ fún hajj 2023 tí ó wáyé láàrin ọjọ́ kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún oṣù kẹfà sọ́jọ́ keje oṣù keje ọdún 2023 pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ ètò tó mú ìgbádùn rẹpẹtẹ dání. ilégbé ìrọ̀rùn tí ò jìnnà sí haram àti mọ́sálásí ànábì Mádínà. síyára ọ̀fẹ́ lójoojúmọ́, oúnjẹ àjẹdọ́wẹ́kẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta lójúmọ́ tó fi mú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ètò tí ó mú ká ẹ ṣe àṣepé hajj tọdún ní. a jẹ́ pé a máa ń fa àkókò ṣòfò mọ́. ẹ wá darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn hujjaj lọ́fíìsì you fit fly tó wà ní Success House 7up road Olúyọ̀lé main estate ring road Ìbàdàn tàbí kẹ́ pè 0703 711 7801. hajj 2023 pẹ̀lú you fit fly inshallah àjọ lọ ni.
tó o bá dìbò ó ti pàdánù ẹ̀tọ́ láti ṣe àwáwí. ó yá lọ́ọ̀rẹ́ gba káàdì ìdìbò rẹ lónìí kó o sì rí wípé o ṣe ojúṣe rẹ. ìkéde yìí wá láti iléeṣẹ́ 32 FM 94.9.
bójú bá ń ṣe pin àmọ́ ń yọ hàn ni ojúkòrò wọn ní kì í pojúkòrò jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọ̀rọ̀ kì í sì tóbi jù ká fọ̀bẹ bù ẹnu làá fi sọ ìdí làá fi jókòó àmọ́ ṣá o tọ́rọ̀ bá kọlẹ̀ tó kòkè àwọn àgbà ní ó tún níbi tá à ń gbé e kà tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá rójú yálà àhesọ tó ń jà rìnrìn ni tàbí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ àbáàdì ó lè jẹ́ òṣèlú ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ẹ̀ka amúlùúdùn eré ìdárayá kódà ó lè jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn gbogbo tó bá wù ó jẹ́ tó bá ṣàti jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu làá fi sọ lórí ètò gbàgede ọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday ní dédé aago 11 òwúrọ̀ lórí ètò gbàgede ọ̀rọ̀ lèmi àtẹ̀yìn a ti máa gba oríṣiríṣi àlejò ńlá jàǹkànjàǹkàn tí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ nígboro bá kàn ẹnu oníkàn ṣáà ni wọ́n ní àti ń gbọ́ pọ̀n ń gbàgede ọ̀rọ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun láago 11 pẹ̀lú àfùdá Samuel àjọmọ́ àṣẹ ni.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, 32 FM 94.9, the Break of Dawn paper review on Saturday, the 21st of January 2023. We're opening the phone lines for you. Let's have your thoughts on the stories that we shared with you so far and the analysis as well. 07055,949, 08097,949. Those are the numbers again, 07055,949. and 08097,949. Hello.
Yeah, Kenny, good morning.
Good morning.
This is okay. Austin, good morning. Yesterday, I remember that I said they would deny about the 180, and lo and behold, that is just what they said.
Right.
And I also remember the fortnight ago, there was a particular governor that said everything is superb in his states in terms of security, and I said security should be looked at holistically. There is no state, I stand to be corrected, that is safe. Even you and I living home, we have our hands in our mouth. We should look at security and insecurity holistically, not on one side. That's why today now, our innocent babies in primary are kidnapped. We need to look at it holistically. Like Austin, like you rightly said, during elections, I know the government, they rather rush to see how they can save themselves, to save their faces from these challenges. But that's not the same with this government. And of course, I ask a question. Austin, I know you reasoning like me. Why should I vote for APC when the real stakeholders, Mr. President and my loving Vice President, are not even convinced about their candidate? And why should I vote Atiku when the governors, some of the governors that are stakeholders, are not also convinced? This is what I want many of them to convince me. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is John Olaiwaju from Ado.
All right, good morning, John. Let's hear you.
On the issue of increment from the federal government that they denied this morning, as far as I'm concerned, that is not a new thing for me because this government can deny anything. So I think the finance minister has already said it one time that they are going to increase, they are going to do it in April to show, to know whether how the removal of subsidy will look like.
Okay.
I think they have started so that they want to tell the people the moment they remove the subsidy, how they will react. That is why they were doing what they were doing now. Okay. And they will continue to deny everything. And for the CBN that make it compulsory for the bank to throw out the no naira note. Now, any bank that did not comply, they will pay the 1 million naira. To me, it's just a fire brigade approach. That is why Nigeria will just do their own things. Anyhow, not Nigeria, those that in the government, as well as this government, they like to do everything with fire brigade approach.
Okay.
They want the people to just look at NIA too. How they want the people to just be doing.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, yeah.
I'm Sheriff calling from we should all know that new development is at peace. What really happened that Nasarawa state is very worrisome because it may lead some schools to shut down, especially the parents did not allow the children to go to school. And I don't know how the federal government today want to end the insecurity because what they need to achieve in the past 7 years, I don't know how they want to achieve it within 5 months to leave the office. About what the government said, I read it in general reporting when the Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo, the PRO of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners and the Secretary also said the governor enriched about 3.2 billion and he has paid like 22 billion out of it. What he has met and what has been clear, what has been owing from the producers, the past administration. I think the government is trying its best in that way.
Okay.
But I want to all the governors, especially like Ondo and Ogun State, they try to emulate the governor of Oyo State here to pay their pensioners as and when this, because posterity will judge them all.
All right.
That's my own take.
Thank you very much. Austin, you there with me? Austin.
Yes, I'm with you.
All right, so I was talking about the Ajimobi story, not the Ajimobi story, but the Makinde story, knocking the APC. He said that the Ajimobi government called Oyo pensioners the dead, and basically he's gone out to say that he's done quite well in terms of catering to the welfare of pensioners in the state. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. I agree almost completely with the governor. He has done well in terms of managing the industrial relation between the government and the workforce in Oyo State. He's also paying salary as and when due. In short, some of these things the governor is doing in terms of the workforce, I felt how would the governor will be able to cope. But it's almost 4 years now and the governor is doing it excellently well. You should also realize that government is a continuum. Right. It is because you feel that the people feel that one government has not done well. That is why they voted another government into office. So whatever the governor is doing, of course, some of these things are achievements in our own client because some people would deliberately refuse to do them. So you can't remove the workforce because they are very pivotal. They are also very strategic, especially in a state like Oyo State. If a governor wants to run into trouble, go and court crisis from the labor union. If you offend the workers, whether you construct roads, they don't really care, but pay their salary, they are good to go. But as far as this issue is concerned, I think this Governor Seyi Makinde has delivered so well on this mandate. No crisis with the labor union in the state. Workers are happy with him. He's paying their salary. I've told governors, see, whatever the case may be, look for a way to settle your workers. It is not good Even the Holy Book said that a laborer is entitled to his wages.
All
You
right.
can't continue to hold people's salary and feel that they will be happy about it. It's unfair. So we say kudos to the governor, but the governor should also look into other areas, especially the area of security, as he aspires to be re-elected for a second time. He should work on insecurity in Oyo State. He's assuming an alarming dimension.
Okay. We'll take some messages on Facebook. Boluwatife Adi Ijuwan writes, insecurity has increased to a level that it may be a threat on growth and development of our nation. Just when we thought we were getting over insurgency, we still hear of attack at different parts of the country. What will be the fate of the family of the victims of Nasarawa attack? It's quite a lengthy one there. That's much I can take. Amade Adekunle writes, with all the APC's failing 2015/19 campaign promises that students 4 years will be 4 years in higher institution, one refinery per year, 45 naira, 145 naira per liter of fuel. They even told us to stone them in 2015 if they fail Nigeria. Now they have failed us. Thank you very much for that message. One more. Olayinka Adetola says it's so pathetic that Nigeria's security architecture is being overwhelmed under the leadership of a retired army officer, President Buhari, to the extent that many innocent souls are losing their lives to insecurity on a daily basis. That's where I have to leave that one there. Austin Udumu, thank you very much for your time on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure having you. Make sure you have yourself an awesome Saturday.
Yeah, you too.
My name is Kenny Durotilu. This is where we call it a wrap on the Break of Dawn pay-per-view. Good morning. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the guest analyst and do not necessarily reflect